I'm in Salad and I saw Empire Records. It is directed by Alan Moyle. This was a Patreon request. If you'd like to request a movie, go check out patreon.com/ASEPresents. This is the first time I've ever heard of this movie was for a request, and I didn't know anything about this movie going in, and I was just going in blind. And the beginning starts. It all takes place at a record store, and I've personally been to a few record stores, so I understand the whole vibe of a record store. You know, it's a fun musical place, and you get all the employees there. Oh boy, let me not talk about the employees yet. Let me talk about my favorite character already. Lucas. Lucas is closing. So, you know what that means? He hears about the financial hardships, hard struggles, and he's like, okay, cool, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm really good at placing bets. And he goes to the gambling room by gambling room I mean the casino. And I'm like, wow, Lucas, wow, it seems like you're gonna win this, cause you're just so good at this. I'm excited to see what happens. Does he win all of this? Pretty much, I was like, oh, this is also take place in the casino. When I started seeing Lucas in the entire casino, and he goes to bet the money. He doubles it. And this is what happens when you get too cocky. You lose the money. And that's exactly what happens. He counts some other number. It doesn't matter what number, all it matters is that he lost. And it's sad, and so he loses all of the money ever, and then it's like, okay, Lucas, you have to deal with your own mistakes. And Lucas is such a hard boy, bad boy. Whenever he's told, don't touch my beer, my cigars, and double check the money too. Make sure of that. You gotta make sure. And oh boy. He does all of those things. He has no regard for the rules. He's such a rebel. Man, what a role model. Of course, when he loses the money, he's distraught. He's on a motorcycle. It seems like he'd be on a motorcycle. What a cool motorcycle. I'm already in awe of the motorcycle. And so he tells the situation vaguely to a couple of coworkers, and then he rooms off. But then those coworkers have to deal with their boss, and the boss is being like, hey, where is this money? But boss being called from other bosses, not having to do with anything with the employees there. It's already a tense situation. I wouldn't want to be in that tense situation. It's quite sad. It's quite sad what happened to the money. But, of course, big frenzy panic time. We're in a big old panic. And also, I should mention, guess who's also there? Women. There are women there. Specifically, there's these two women. There's a blonde, and there's a brunette. Forget their names, but the blonde is a little bit sexually promiscuous, so I would say, and the brunette's not really. She doesn't like it as much, and they have arguments about it all the time. And I personally am like, I don't care. I really don't care, as long as I don't get hurt by being involved. Pretty much. So, I honestly, it's like, okay, brunette, please loosen up. Just loosen up a little bit. It's okay. It's alright. Also, guess what's happening? Rex Manning Day. some guy from the 80s. He was popular once, but now it's 95 rather. And that was 15 years ago in the plot of the movie. So you know what that means? Not good. Not good at all. So, oh boy, you get all the stress is coming up. All the stressors. And then, guess who has the audacity to show up? Oh boy, I love it. I love it so much. Lucas shows up. But Lucas, now, he's like, it seems like he's seemingly changed from like a bad boy, rock and roll, to like very autistic, honestly, is what he seems like to me. He's like, yes, that was me, in fact. Correct. I actually would recommend that. I'm like, okay, guy. You're still my favorite character, but wow, you're so literal, I guess? I'm not sure. But anyway, then you get to see, ooh, there's this boy. He's wearing a red jacket, and he's shoplifting. And when I saw that, I was like, oh, okay. Shoplifter, you have no consideration for the struggling business at all. Don't you know this business is struggling, kid? I mean, he's also a kid. He might not understand. Well, he most definitely doesn't understand if he's shoplifting from a business. So, you know, there is that. But then, oh boy, there's like a bunch of drama going around surrounding the Rex Manning stuff. The group doesn't really like him that much, and I can see why. His music is kind of bland. I don't like his music. It seems, oh, you know what? It took me a second to realize, but it was like, oh, is this a Gene Wilder? Oh wow, it is. Oh, that's cool. I was not expecting this appearance. It seems, or if it's not a Gene Wilder, it looks exactly like Gene Wilder. It's pretty miraculous. And you got, Rex Manning. He's there. He's just signing autographs. He hates his life. The people that he talks to are like older women and just like a bunch of guys. And he just seems so bored. It's like, ugh, I don't like this. I don't want to deal with all these people. These seem like, these are boring, vapid people. That's exactly what's going through his brain, probably based on his facial emotions that I could barely tell, because if you haven't noticed, I have autism. I'm guessing. Kind of. I know some social skills. It's just heavily learned. I've had to learn a lot. But when it comes to, you get, what is her face? Brunette girl. She's like, oh my goodness, I've always had a crush on Rex Manning. I'm gonna take my shot. And so she follows him into this room where he's gonna eat. And then she starts taking off her clothes, right? In a really awkward way. And I'm like, oh, that was probably... I was also like, in an awkward way. But it was... Would I do it like that? I mean, she just like kind of awkwardly spreads her legs open. Did I mention it was awkward? And so then she starts taking off her clothes. It's like, yeah, come to me. He's like, you sure you want to do this? You sure you want to do this? He seemed pretty eager. And then just by the eagerness, she was like, oh, I want to leave. So she leaves. And I'm like, no! This is probably the youngest girl that he's had the potential to be with for a long time, knowing that all his friends are like old women and gay guys. I mean, wow. I only use gay guys because the alliteration. Isn't that pretty neat? Wow. But she goes to the rooftop, and then the guy. Oh, you know what? I forgot. There's like a whole. Oh, there's always something I'm missing. But there's the guy character. He's always wanted to tell brunette girl that he loves her. Goes up to the roof. Bad timing because she just hit on Rex Manning. She even tells him as such, I just hit on Rex Manning and I don't know what to do and I'm freaking out. He's like, well, I love you. I love you so much. And then she's like, please leave me alone. I'm like, oh no. You seem like you're in a bad emotional state. Do you want a hug? I want to hug you. I want to give you lots of hugs. We're actually matching. Wow, can you believe it? I cannot believe it. Oh, I also love this part. Blonde girl, also sleeping with Rex. But then, when brunette girl comes down, she's like, where's the friend? And oh, it's revealed that what's happening is this, that exactly. They've been hooking up. And it's like, oh. You had the opportunity. You kind of lost yourself on that one. That was not good. Why did you have to do that? I don't get it. But anyway, then you get to see everyone freaking out. Oh, the boss man comes by who needs money. Mitchell. Is that his name? GM. The GM's name, I'm gonna assume his name is Mitchell. He puts a bunch of these papers in a bag for money, gives them the money, and then now they bought time using just paper. That where's the money? Then they have time to raise some. And honestly, it's pretty. This cast of characters is pretty fun. There's like a whole lot of shenanigans going on. Oh yeah, by the way, that guy, to catch up on the red jacket guy, he got caught by Lucas. Red jacket guy goes to jail when he gets taken in by the cops, but then, well, I don't remember at what point he gets taken in by the cops. Rather, I should note that, he gets taken in by the cops, but. You get, his Warren is his name. He comes back in with a bunch of, he has a gun and shooting bang bang. Where's the damage at? What happened to the damage? Where'd it go? Oh, okay. Oh no. Who has to deal with it? The GM guy. Wow. It's just, his life sucks. I feel genuinely bad for him. Just because he has to deal with and just the likes of children and teenagers every day. That doesn't really seem like a fun existence, especially if you're forced to be a manager of a store that is closing in a week and is being bought out by a less fun but more sterile environment. And of course, he's dreading it. And guess who has a big brain idea? Some guy has a big brain idea. He says, hey, let's throw a party. Actually, okay, I know which big brain idea it was. It was not the red jacket guy who was stealing the CDs, but the red shirt guy who was kissing on, like, female posters the entire time and, like, tried to kiss a couple of women a couple of times during the movie. He goes on TV in an interview. He's like, hey, we have a party at midnight tonight. And then a bunch of people come. And I'm like, oh, if only I had that type of turnout. I mean, moi. And wow, they even have like booths set up and everything. Vinyls. You gotta buy something in order to come into this free party. So it's not really free. Well, it's never free. You're spending with your time too. Consider time also as a measure of value, not just money. But anyway, they get a big old jar of the dollary dues. Like, it's so many monies. There's so much of it. I cannot believe it. I've never seen as much in my life. Like, in my physical eyes. I've never seen that much cash. And the boss man comes by. GM is like, hey, here's your money. I'm quitting. I am suffering. I hate this. And then boss man is like, actually, you know what? I'm gonna buy it. I'm gonna sell it to you. I'm gonna sell you this building. Please take it. I had to work the registers for one day and I hated it. I absolutely hated it. It's like, good. You understand what it's like to work in customer service now. That was great. As someone who's had to work in a lot of customer service, it is not fun. So it's just like, I get it. I understand why you want to quit and just like, let me sell you it, please. Alright. Here's some money. Alright, I'm out of your hair now. Awesome. Let's all end in a dancing party on the roof. Woo, we dancing. I like the dancing sequence. It's like, okay, there's a lot of dancing for the next minute after this, after the final scene of everything happening. And then the movie ends. I was like, hey, I like that. That was a pretty good journey. I felt like I was on an incredible journey. I was engaged, and I felt like the characters were. I liked how goofy and cartoonish some of the characters were. Okay, I did not bring this up at all, but I meant to bring it up earlier. Deborah, she shaves her hair. She has an attempted suicide attempt. And then everyone is just like trying, throughout the movie, everyone is just trying to like love her. Be like, yo, you're worth it. And eventually, she's like, oh, I understand that everyone's going through suffering. And I'm not alone. And honestly, that's a very sweet message. This movie has a lot of sweet messages. And for that, I gotta give this movie a solid 7.2 out of 10. If you like that content, more content at patreon.com/ASEpresents. $3 a month for daily vlogs plus extended mint salad sauce. $20 a month, one movie request per 1 month. So go check out patreon.com/ASEpresents. All other links to support me are in the link tree down below. On Fansly, I'm answering all fan DMs, so hit me up on fansly.com/itsmintsalad. Until next time, I'm in Salad Saw. I'll see y'all later, my salad croutons and bacon bits.